chest.
What's up?
Lúcio, oh!
Thank you guys for coming to Toronto. We're very excited to see you.
Happy to be here, man. You guys are fantastic people.
Oh.
Not kidding.
Yeah, you are. That's
Yeah.
right.
You're welcome.
It's no surprise with a giant crowd like this. You guys, Rolling Stone called you guys the Beatles of voice actors, which is pretty amazing. What's it been like for you?
Self-proclaimed.
What's it been like for you guys since starting to work on Overwatch? I mean, this must have been pretty life-changing.
I didn't even answer that. Well, I mean, this whole thing, I never expected this to happen, right? I've been acting for 15 years, done a bunch of stuff that you're like, this is gonna go, this is hot, this is fire, and it doesn't go anywhere. You're like, okay. You do a video game offhandedly, like just because they don't pay well, and you're like, I'll do it. Yeah, sure, whatever. What is this? Okay, all right, cool. And then this, you're like, whoa, wait, how? Why? It's been a whole, just life-changing, mind-altering, boggling experience. So now you say something.
Agree.
Short and sweet. I love it. Have you guys had some pretty cool fan experiences that you would like to share with us?
Yes.
Oh man, Gaku is just a treat. I mean, I am just always so floored by how many people are connected to this game, connect to the characters, and you know, you want to be appreciated as, you know, for your art, whether you're drawing or making music, and for me, just being an actor. And so the appreciation I felt from all of you guys in this world, saying it means so much to just jump in this character, and for me personally, you know, making people feel good, amping people up, or like being positive, just an entity in a game has done so much for people. Like the appreciation and the love that I've received from this has just been incredible, and that's from you guys, and I'm very thankful.
Me too.
Jonny doing the heavy lifting.
Oh man! Next question. I love it.
So Gaku, what's new? Like, let's talk.
Same old, same old.
Just that's it.
All right, man. I'm gonna tell embarrassing stories of you then. I'm just kidding. Wow, guys! Turned on me quickly. What's new with you, dude?
This is great. This is going really well. We should.
I
Yeah.
met a couple like awesome cosplayers, especially, you know, the Oni Genjis, and then now it's Mercy's right there. Yeah, and healing, yes. And yeah, so the passion and then, support, very, you feel loved.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You were saving it for a good one. I like that. Yeah. It seems like, judging by your Instagrams, when I know of you guys, all the Overwatch voice actors have like really bonded as a group as well. Is that the case, or is it all just a front for social media?
We're actors, you know. We pretend. We like each other. Yeah.
We have intense rivalries.
Yeah.
Just like in the game. I mean, the Overwatch cast, I think we all kind of bonded together on the experience that Overwatch became. I think kind of became this thing, it's like, what's happening? What's going on? Why is everybody so happy about this game? You know, and it started to make us be like, when you're experiencing something together, it really bonds you. And just finding the cast that they've cast for this game, everybody's so delightful in their own unique each way. And any con I go to, no matter who who's on the panel is just like, oh, I get to see Gaku, I love him, you know, or I get to see Charlotte and just any of them, and I'm like, there's just too many to name. But no, it's just like you get to hang out, and each one is just such a delight. Keith Silverstein makes me laugh harder than anything. It's Torbjorn, and you would never think he's just so hilarious. And yeah, it's just brought us together, and so like we hang out, we have dinners, it's kind of it's a new family of sorts that everybody's just delighted.
I read that Blizzard really sits down with you guys to develop the voices of your characters together. I'd love to hear a little bit from each of you. So Gaku, I'm sorry, you have to talk now. That was my bad. About how you came up with the voice of your characters and what that experience was like. Maybe we'll start with Gaku.
I mean, since my cultural background is in Japan, and just try to be truthful to my cultural background, for the honor and the respect. And the good thing is about working with Blizzard is when we record, always the director and then Michael Chu, the writer of the Overwatch, is either on site or on Skype. So he explained that Michael Chu always explains these lines, the meaning behind of this and this and this, and then who you are talking to. So it's very easy for us to work with. And then beginning, we kind of took time to find out who the Genji is, but now it's kind of getting shorter and shorter because we know what to do. And then before, Michael translated all the Japanese lines for me, but now he's kind of gave me all the lines in English, and hey, can you translate this? On spot. And I'm like, okay, so that's what we did now.
That's so funny. Can you do my job for me? Yeah, for me, I just did an audition, basically. It was, they give you sides, is what they're called. They give you a picture of the, I didn't get a character. It was like a Latino boy with a hat and a skateboard. So I was like, all right. And like 5 lines. And I think for me, in this particular essence, I was like, the description did a lot for me, which was saying like he's a very likable, fun-loving guy who people know and like, who's very encouraging. And I was like, that's me, And I was like, I can do that. And I think a lot of it is like, there's a lot of my natural tone and voice in Lúcio that, just kind of comes out. And I was like, let me be as sincere as possible. And like, what do I, as a person in this moment, when I'm enjoying something or encouraging somebody, what does that sound like? And I basically went with that most sincere part of myself and not put too much character on it or anything like that. And yeah, I just did it all hyped up and didn't hear anything for 2 months. It was just an audition that I was just like, what is this? All right. But yeah, 2 months later, I got an email saying, hey, the people from Blizzard's Overwatch really loved your audition. And at the time, I auditioned under a code name because they weren't letting anybody know what it was. And I was like, what? Blizzard Overwatch? What? I didn't audition for that. And then I was like, wait a minute, Blizzard Overwatch? And then it all like started flushing back. My roommate had showed me this whole gameplay trailer early on. He's like, this game's gonna be so dope, dude, you watch. And then I'm like thinking that, then I go and ask him, I'm like, I got this part in Overwatch. And he goes, no. I'm like, yeah. But the essence of the character, it was just so close to me. I think I would go in the booth and literally we do 3 lines of it just to get the feel. And it was just like, I would just shoot 3 out and they'd be like, that's good. That's good. That's good. Because I think it was so close to me. I think some of the other actors, they were really finding and doing they had callbacks in certain instances. I think from the get-go, I think Michael Chu was they listened to so many Lucios with different accents, all different things, but what they liked about me was that there was this essence that was already there that you could hear in the voice. So they kind of just let me run free a little bit. And if there's any that I'm not quite getting or anything like that, we'll just do another 3 and I got it.
How does it it feel for you guys to be part of a game in which diversity is such like a core concept of the whole thing? That was like really worded really poorly, and I want to apologize. It's my first panel today. Anyway, diversity is great in Overwatch. How do you feel about that? That's basically what I'm asking.
Great. I mean, I'm the minority, you know, as an actor, you know, I'm Asian, so it's very minority, you know, for, you know, anything. And so that's why I'm kind of appreciate things that, like, you know, took time to search for, you know, all the voice actors actually born and raised in the country. You know, I heard they auditioned Genji in Japan first, and they couldn't find anyone. Then, you know, I live in LA. They got me because I'm the best one.
Gaku is a delight. I mean, I've been acting for a long time, and I've played my fair share of stereotypes and things like that. And to be part of a team that is to be a minority and to be a hero, you know, that to me was like, oh wow, yeah, me? You know, it was really just something that doesn't happen as often as it should, and I think that to me meant so much, you know, playing what I've played in the past. And it's like, that representation I think meant a lot to me, and it's meant a lot to a lot of people that I've met, you know, in just all the fans. They're just like, hey man, because of this, I think I can now, you know? And to see yourself represented in a video game, that's a whole new social, or a whole new medium, you know, and that's wonderful. So I'm very appreciative of their just acceptance and their inclusion, and yeah.
We're gonna take some audience questions. If you have a question, throw your hand up, and we'll just point to you. And over here first. Hi. Yes.
Hi. Yeah, so a question to Genji, just out of curiosity, how much of his body is cybernetic, and how much is still human?
That's, I have no idea. You have to ask Michael Chu. Because if I say something and it's not, then it's kind of, I'm gonna be in trouble with Blizzard, you know?
What do you think? Cool, I like that.
Which is 70?
So, yeah, like, I'd say the bottom from east to around the chest-ish area, that would be the 70.
Wow, so more cyborg than human, or no?
He's running fast, so it's gotta be something.
Okay, got it. I mean, the logic checks out.
Yeah.
I'm getting into it. Yeah, that was great. Thank you. Yeah, over here. Hi.
Gaku loves to drink. No, we go out to eat all the time. We've had fun nights, and we've traveled around the world. But yeah, they're like family. Like, yeah, of course.
We hang out, yes.
Yeah, we have mini little Overwatch parties. We do.
I love that supercut video that you made at Blizzard HQ of all the actors doing their voice lines. Like, that blew up online. That was huge.
Yeah, that was me just annoying everybody the first day I met them. You know, I met everybody that day, and I was like, hi, let's do a video. And they're like, all right, dude. And then they were all so nice, and Keith was coming up, he's like, I want to do a video. And then I was like, okay. And then it just kind of, I went from person to person, everybody was so nice. And I was like, well, let me just throw this out on Twitter, you know, and then it just, the fan base ate it up, and I was like, whoa. It went super viral, and I never thought that would happen. And yeah, it made me recognizable as a person. And so people on the street was like, yo, you're Lúcio. And I'm like, what are you talking about right now? What is happening? And then it would happen multiple times in a week, and I'm like, this game is crazy huge. And so, yeah, and it still happens, and I'm like, this is, it brought us in some way to the forefront, and that was it was my intention, but it was really nice to know that you guys now see us and appreciate us. It was amazing. So.
Because you're a director as well,
Yeah.
and you direct a lot of fun Twitter videos. I think your most recent one, I
Teenage
don't
Dad.
want to bring it up.
Don't bring it up. But you can bring up Teenage Dad.
I'm going to change that. The most recent one is, I hate it. It's
too close to home.
Yeah, you should watch it. Don't watch it. But yeah, so how have you found that there's like a great audience through Instagram and Twitter for your shorts?
Yeah, I mean, I've been making and directing videos since like 15 years ago, right? And getting, 1,000 views in total. But yeah, I mean, it was just, I just kept doing what I've been doing, and then now, there's people watching and appreciating that work from, coming from Overwatch into my world a little bit, and being appreciative of my comedy. And I've done improv for 10 years, so I love to be a goof. And if you're watching me be a goof, I appreciate you so much. Once you come up and be like, I love you. Why are you talking that? I love that. I like that. Yes, I'm a goof, and everybody's like, yes! Yeah, you are!
Gaku, I love your Instagram too. My favorite posts of yours are the ones where you're in Akihabara and you find like Genji toys, and you're just like, it's Genji! And you get like really excited about it. Are you? Yeah.
It was like, I kind of got embarrassed because I was looking at the Genji Android like really intensely. I was thinking, should I buy it or should I ask someone to give it to me? I don't know anyone from Android, so what should I do? And then I was staring at it like for 5 minutes, and then 5 came to.
Came up to you?
Oh, someone recognized you.
Look at me and look at the Android. Oh my god. So embarrassing. But I bought it.
Yeah!
Good for you. Yeah. I think Mercy, did you have your hand up? Yeah. Stand up, let's see this open. Yeah, you look great.
Can't stop, won't stop! So I started the game playing Lúcio just to play myself. It's not close. And then, I mean, there's a lot of pressure to be healing people, like, get over here, help me. And I'm like, where are you? You're so far. And I fell off a ledge, guys, I'm sorry. So then I jumped on the Junkrat, and I just would blow myself up, and nobody really seemed to care. I was like, this is fun! Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of where I've gravitated towards.
I played once and I sucked. Because I'm not good at a first-person shooter game.
Yeah.
And I'm not good at like running around, stuff like that. And then when I play first-person shooter, I play Black Ops, and then killing zombies. But I'm the kind of guy camping with a heavy machine gun, just killing the zombie until run out of the ammo.
Yeah,
so that's all I can do. So I'm not good at it. I'm an RPG guy. So like Final Fantasy.
In fairness, you're also like a master martial artist in real life, so I feel like that's probably fine. You have like other skills. Yeah. It's okay. Yes, over here in the brown t-shirt. Hi.
First of all, Genji, congratulations on finding your healer.
Thank you very much. You need healing.
Your voice line that's not your own, and can you perform it in your voice?
Perform my voice.
Yeah. As Lúcio?
Yeah.
Yuji no Keo Cryo! I love his laugh. It's always like,
Let's break it down.
Yes, over here. Yes.
This is for Johnny. When you recorded your Portuguese lines, did you find
Oh man, I just like butter out of my mouth. No, one of the most difficult sessions I've had, and it was 10 lines, right? Because how this came about is like the fans wanted Portuguese lines, but I don't speak Portuguese. I speak Spanish poorly. You know, I went to Michael Chu and I was like, look, Michael Chu, we got to do this. And he's like, oh, you want to do this? And then I was like, I don't know anymore. He was like, no, let's do it. And I was like, okay. And so they sent me audio recordings of like what it sounds like. And just sounds I don't make on a daily basis coming like out of your like in here. And I was like, ooh, what did I get myself into? And the day of, like, they really supported me. They brought in a voice dialect coach and one of the guys from Blizzard who works on the Portuguese language of it all. And he speaks Portuguese, and he was on the phone, and it was basically him coaching me on all the right sounds to make. And I would do it over and over and over again until I would hit the right sound. And I mean, it was literally me saying, I can't even say it now, like, like, until I hit the right accent in Portuguese. It was like Portuguese, but also Rio de Janeiro, like slang in there, right? And so it was so difficult, but by the end of it, they were so supportive. They were like, man, what you just did, I can't even believe, right? And that was like, well, maybe it's gonna be close. And I've gotten such good feedback from the fans being like, yo, that's accurate. And I'm just very appreciative that you guys allowed me to do it, or they allowed me to do it, or to at least put my foot in to say I can do this. And to be appreciated, it's been amazing, especially for that, because I know it means a lot. So, yeah.
Gaku's like, I was amazing at the Japanese, so whatever. Yeah, let's go way in the back over here in the red sweater. Yeah, hi.
I just wanted to ask, before Overwatch and everything, did you already have a chance to experience like con culture and coming to conventions? And when you really started getting into Overwatch and getting popular, like what was it like if you've never been before, like experiencing all of this for the first time?
I did a live action series of a Street Fighter video game like 4 years ago, and I went to New York, San Diego, and London Comic Con. But it's for the panel, so it's totally different experience that I can, to interact with fans and then talking to, the one by one, and then write autograph and stuff like that. So it's very overwhelming, and I can go, everywhere in the world to meet you guys, and then I can. See the people, culture, ladies, food.
What was that?
Yeah. People,
Food?
People, culture. Yes. Yeah. So overwhelmed, and then I'm so happy that I'm here. Yes.
I personally had never been to a convention in my life. I never knew the culture was real. I knew about San Diego Comic-Con, but like I didn't know that there was like multiple conventions in multiple cities and in the world. And so I got invited to a small convention to do a panel with Gaku, my first one ever. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do the panel. And I drove out there myself, got out. I was like, oh, I started walking around. The food is where I like to hang out. And I was like, oh, look at all this cool food. And then the cosplay was like everywhere. And I was like, whoa, hey, this is great. This is crazy. Like I've never in person seen like the levels that people go to. And that started blowing my mind. And then the artwork, all that, just the craftsmanship, all of it started to be like, whoa. And then, once I got there, the reception of like the fan base of Overwatch, like I couldn't take a few steps without people being like, yo, hey, sign this, or like, I love Overwatch. And I was like, it was so concentrated and the appreciation was so deep. I was like, I gotta do all the cons. This is so much love. So yeah, and so since then I've been to more cons than my age. So.
It must be nice considering you guys work in a booth where you don't really get to interact with a lot of people to then be able to come out to stuff like this and actually see. I mean, it'd be different like if you're in the theater and your audience is right there, but you're so detached from that. It must be nice for you guys to be able to meet so many people who are excited to see you.
That's great. Yeah.
It's really cool. Okay, over here behind Mercy.
Hey, so when you're playing Overwatch, do you ever just shout out voice lines to throw people off?
So I'm a little silent player. I like to play in a little silent box, play with other. I don't know. I was telling somebody like, for some reason online I have a little bit of shyness, like, and this has been always like I don't know why online in particular, like in big groups, I'm like, oh no, let's play. But in person I'm like, what's up everybody? So like I've never really had that like I guess experience to be like that interactive, because I kind of like teetered off playing games like when the massive multiplayer online games were starting to really hit, and that to me was like, what is going on? But I would do it now. It's time for me to break out of my shell, my online internet shell. So, yeah.
Diva had a question, I think, over here. Over here? Yeah. What got them both interested in voice acting was the question.
I never thought I had a voice for voice acting. It was never in my brain that could be something I could do, really. I was more like, I'll be an on-camera guy. You know, that was kind of my focus, directing all that stuff.
But then you were really like not good looking and people were like,
Yeah.
no, it's not gonna work. Is that what it was?
Oh.
That's a joke,
Poor
because these
Johnny.
are the two
Poor
most
Johnny.
handsome humans I've ever seen.
Stop it.
It's ridiculous.
What is this? I love the clap text that you guys clap. You are handsome, yeah! You guys are the best. Yeah, which, you know, it's just so funny that I kind of just fell into voice acting, but it was something that I really enjoyed because on camera, you know, you have to be aware of every piece of like what's being captured, like, and not to blink too many times, not to, you know, there's all these levels that have to go into your acting. In the booth, you could do whatever you want to get the sound you need. So it's just like, ah! Get that? You know, great. You know, like, there's just these things, there's freedom behind in voice acting that, you know, as I started to do it, I was like, man, this is fantastic. This is great. I can be whatever I want to be. You know, and you can play whatever. And I got to play, like, you know, helicopters and rock stars and all these weird things that I could never play in real life. I can't ever play a helicopter in
Did
real
you
life.
say a helicopter?
Yeah, I have a helicopter on a kids show called Stinky and Dirty. See in real life do that. Well, I mean, you can, but millions of dollars. So yeah, I mean, I just fell into it, and I think there was a moment also with video games in particular that I wasn't paying much mind to. And then, you know, I always say this, but years ago, a friend of mine he told me get into voiceover. That's what you should do. You should like really get into this market. And I didn't pay any attention. I was just like, yeah, no, whatever, man. I'm on camera, boy. And then years later, I was actually playing The Last of Us, or not even playing. I was sitting on the bed, the edge of my friend's bed, watching him play The Last of Us for 3 days, and I was like, what just happened? And I was like, this was the most immersive like video game experience that has ever happened to me. I am changed forever. And then I was like, that voice. That voice. This is the first time I ever wanted to look up a video game voice actor. Was after that. And then I went online, I was like, who is Troy Baker? Troy Baker was the one who told me to get into voice acting years ago. And I was like, yeah, I knew Troy in Dallas, Texas. We did a little Whataburger commercial. It's a little burger stand. And I was like, and then I looked at his whole list of like video game titles, and I was like, So it got me right thinking, like, maybe I should pay attention. Maybe I should put a little bit more focus into the things and not just judge them, not just like, be like, no, to really just do my best in every scenario and situation and then let it go, because you'll never know what happens. And that was my attitude. And then Overwatch. So, thanks, Troy.
How about you, Gaku? What made you get into voice acting?
To make money.
Yeah, that's real.
I mean, in LA, there's so many people are trying to be an actor, and there's so many competitions. And then the first goal as an actor is to survive as an actor. So you can say, hey, I'm an actor, right? Otherwise, I used to work at the restaurant for 5 years, no, like total maybe 7 years. So I wanted to make a living with acting. So I tried like everything I could. Then, here I am.
Yeah. Over here, hi.
Do you ever do group voice recordings, or is it all just one person in a movie per person?
I've always been alone.
Yeah, me too.
Always.
Even cinematic, we did alone. But for me, I was lucky because when I record the cinematic, already narrator and then Paul's already put the voice on it, so I could hear. So for Paul, probably tougher because he put it from scratch. So, yeah.
Interesting. Do you find that challenging, having to read the lines on your own, or is it easier to work on your own or in a group?
We are talented,
Yeah. No, I mean, okay. That's fair. Next question. Pink wig.
I was just wondering, you said, Johnny, that you do improv, maybe Gaku does this as well, but are there any lines in Overwatch that were influenced by improvisation on your part?
Chillin', so much chillin'. that was me just fooling around on the mic. They've used it, which was great. And there's been other ones, but you always add your flair, but they write such great stuff already, but then anytime they use any of my stuff, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I'm a little bit Japanese, but almost all, the Michael Chu did a fantastic job, so we don't have to change it.
Nice. Let's go back over here. Sailor Mars. Hi.
I like it too.
Wow! Oh man, I love it. Those are the main times I've played Overwatch, been with the cast. I played at Charlotte's house, she's very good. Her husband taught me how to play Lúcio. He's the real hero, guys. So yeah, and I played with Anjali and Keith, yeah. So. I would never play Symmetra. Okay, I did.
She does.
Who, Anjali? Yeah, Anjali plays Symmetra, of course. Of course. Glad you said it. I did. I wouldn't. Yeah, no.
First of all, how dare you? Yes, in the front. Hi.
Hi, Johnny, I have something I want to ask you specifically. Can you say that's how you describe this for me?
That's how you get tinnitus. Oh, you wanted it, Lúcio? I didn't know. Now that's how you get tinnitus.
Who are some of the voice actors that you grew up with the most, and who do you like enjoy when you were the most on set?
Him. No, yeah, we've traveled, I think, the most and been to the most cons together, and we've been in the most trouble together, so, yeah. I love it. When I didn't know he was gonna come here. I was just announced, and then like a week before they were like, Gaku Space. I'm like, yeah! I think I was like, I went like, yeah, Gaku's coming!
Yeah, he texted me like right.
All right, okay, not that fast, but pretty fast.
I'm waiting for Gaku to be like, not Johnny.
Yeah, not Johnny. Lucy.
What?
Lucy Paul.
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late. You made your choice.
Yeah, hi, that's Lou. Yeah. mhm.
Well,
I don't remember. Because we record bunch that we don't know when they're gonna use it and then how they're gonna use it. So
we go in every few months to like do new lines, and then we don't. There's some Symmetra interactions that I think recently had come out, and I did that like 1 or 2 sessions in, and I thought it was out. So I was like, that's Symmetra, blah, blah, blah. And then I realized people were like, what? I was like, I should shut my mouth. So I don't know. You don't know.
That's when like the Blizzard sniper dot like appears on the front of your shirt. Uh-oh. Yeah, hi.
So you guys short just came out and we're hoping Lucio's short will come out next in cinematic. Is there some aspect of the story and character that you want to incorporate in Lucio short?
We got a surprise for you guys. There is a Lucio short. Can we cue it up? I'm just kidding, guys. I don't have that kind of power. What? I'm just something. Literally. I love you guys' earnest, like. I mean, dude, I wish, man. I would love to see like some of his origin stories of like, maybe what caused him to be this freedom fighter, right? What caused him to be this, what led him to have to take charge? And then part of like just his party life, what's going on there? I'd like to see that too.
Is there any part of Genji's backstory that you'd like to see explored further?
a little bit more like Blackwatch. And beginning, I thought the Mercy, fixed Genji, but now could be Moira. So I have no idea. Maybe from the Yang Genji to Blackwatch Moira, Blackwatch to the regular Genji's Mercy. I don't know. So that's what I want to see, and I want to play.
Yeah, for sure. Hi.
The recording was one of the toughest recording because I didn't get the script until the day. On the recording studio, Michael hasn't finished until like 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I went to the recording studio as always, and then the director, JP, gave me the script, and then usually like a couple pages, but like this much, and then what the hell is this? And then, is this for anime short or something? And it's no, it's for the event. And it's so many that took so long because you have to there's no preparation, nothing. But it came out great because I'm talented.
Way in the back. Hi.
Gaku, how much can you bench?
Pounds, I do right now, it's like a 135 for 8 reps, so maybe 235 for 8 reps, so maybe like 280, maybe something.
So you can bench Johnny's bench.
How much do you bench?
Like 150.
Good job.
Yeah, hi.
Is there any games in particular that you want to do on your characters or any other
I want like a sleek, cool, like all black, just dope, and, like mysterious, tight, super tight.
Like a full cat suit.
That's where I was going.
Right, no, I like it. That feels very in character for him. What are you, Gaku?
I wanted to have a baseball because I used to play baseball, but I already came up with Winston and Zenyatta, so it's not gonna happen. Sucks. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
I used to batter, so hopefully.
Yeah, you wanted to be a pro baseball player first.
Yeah,
when
my
you
dad
came
was
to-
professional in Japan for Tokyo Giants. That's why I was playing baseball.
That's cool.
That's right. Yeah, standing up in the back. Hi.
Yeah, Johnny, so you had originally coordinated that video with all the cast members to kind of do their voice lines. And I know that one of your colleagues, Matt Mercer, and the voice of Winston, went on YouTube and like played a session and just started spouting voice lines and confusing people in the game. And I wonder if you could try and orchestrate some of that with some of your buddies, and that would get a ton of views if you convince some people to do that with you.
I mean, I'm down for whatever. I'm just not good at planning.
But you could direct it.
So maybe, well, yeah, I'm open. That'd be fun.
Let's go over here. Hi.
Yeah, I have a question for Johnny. When is Blizzard gonna add this is good for me voice line?
So if you guys go onto my Instagram, you will see one of the weirdest videos you've ever seen. Where I keep saying, "This is good for me," and it ends up with me in a tub of cereal. So get on my Instagram at Jonny Cruz 3 Z's.
Zeds, Johnny. We're in Canada.
Oh, Zeds. Excuse me, Zed. 3 Zed.
Blue Wig. Hi.
Hi, this is a question for Gaku, and I just love your voice because I'm Japanese American, and I'm like, first time I actually heard like Japanese characters, like, oh my god, that's like, I know that person is Japanese just because of that accent, and it's great, and I love it. But my question to you is there any specific voice line that you had a struggle, you actually had to do some takes on that you remember?
In Japanese
In Japanese
or English?
Yeah.
No, nothing because I'm talented.
Oh my god.
This is going great. I think we have time for a couple more questions on the aisle here. Hi.
This is for both of you. Other than the characters that you play, who is your favorite character in Overwatch?
I mean, I gravitated towards Genji, actually, when I watched the short. There was so much depth in there, and like, Eastern philosophy, Eastern culture has always been something I really love and gravitate towards, and his level of like serenity, and peace, and goodwill within himself, forgiveness. There's a lot of like deep stuff that Genji has that I'm like really, I was like, and plus he's just a badass. So yeah.
You're not gonna pick Lucio, I'm pretty sure.
Nope. Of course, Lúcio. He healed me, in the game and in real life.
You knock them down, but pick them right back up.
That's a beautiful way to end this panel. Do you guys have any last messages for your fans before you head out? Anything you want to say in your character voices, perhaps?
Thank you guys so much. From the bottom of both our hearts, I know this has meant so much to us, and thank you for continuing to play and be a part of the community. And then we'll be down at our booths. But I'd love to take a big old selfie with everybody here.
Yeah!
Let's do it! Selfie time!
Come on, guys, get us to say Thank you for watching the Convention Junkies coverage of Fan Expo Canada 2018. Join the conversation below with a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe to see more. If you would like to help us with future projects, please visit our Patreon page.